I'm tired of hearing the dinging, so I just take a tool and trip the latch. I've already cleaned the trim around the edge there, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to go ahead and scrape and prep these windows. This is a soft glass safe prep tool. We make it here in house. You can resharpen it, reuse it. It just works great for this. So I scrape it with that. It does not replace a razor blade. You can't take decals off with it and such as that, but it does work great for this. Yeah, they're in that. There's two different styles. There's a square one, and there's one that's got a like a sort of perforated edge. Either one will work. There'll be probably my bag full of them over there. So I scrape it, then I'll scrub it with the scrubby. I'm gonna start doing some sort of full-length videos for you guys, because some of the quick stuff is tailored more to installers that's already doing this, or if I just can be 100% honest with you, it's tailored to sort of showing off for bragging rights, which is all good and fine, I guess. But if you truly need help on how to get a window prepped and ready to go, it's not helping you much. You always want to make sure your top edge is dried and clean, because water can set up on top of that, and when you put your film on there, it can wick dirt over in behind the film. I'm gonna take this loading tool I make here. I'm gonna bring it over to the corner. I'm gonna flush that. You see how this tool's made? It goes behind the lock mechanism. It gives just a little clearance down in there behind that. You can rock this thing back, clean all down in there. I'm gonna two-stage this window because I'm not fooling with pulling the seals. A lot of folks will peel this down and cut a lot of the excess off and all that good stuff, and which is a fine practice, but not 100% necessary. I'm just casually cruising through this. I'm not trying to run wide open and do any of that stuff. I'm on two-stage. I leave a gap here. I slide my excuse me, film up behind it. You'll get a crease right here if you're not careful. Excuse me. So I'll turn my film in like this. Slide this up in behind it. And solve that issue. Down here, I'll bring this down, I'll slide it up. Now the slip solution I'm using on this is actually, excuse me, I got the tickle throat here, is tint tack from Flex Films. It's one of the only products I've found that really doesn't stagnate in the tanks. And I've been doing a lot of research on it. And there's a lot of folks got some stuff out. When I say one of the only, it and tent slime. Tent slime does not stagnate either. Any of that other stuff out there, I can tell you I've used it, and for 99% of the time, it will stagnate. and this is a dehydra. This is an extractor. I had somebody ask me, can you prep with it and install with it? I'm going to tell you guys, any installer that's worth his weight knows you can't successfully, I say can't, shouldn't try to use one blade for everything. If that was the case, we'd only have one blade for everything. You can take one that's soft enough to prep with and drag it backwards across it to prep with it and do whatever. But the problem with that is you end up premature wearing your blade out, and if it's hard enough to be an extractor, then it's too hard to prep with. Now, on a 2-stage, so while I've still got all this like it is, I'll go ahead and preheat the top with a heat gun or a torch. When I turn this torch off, I'll explain why the torch over the heat gun on this. The reason for the torch over the heat gun, a heat gun would have this thing superheated in one area and all the way down. Now I've got an area bandwidth right across through here that is hot. The film is going to lay down and tack up, and you'll have to worry about heating everything all the way down. This gets this edge prepped so I can go ahead and shave it, then I can roll it up and not have to worry with it. Because if you're 2-staging with the seal still in, the last thing you want to have to worry about is the edge of that film rolling up or rolling backward. And you'll hear a lot of people talk about, oh, I like a red dot, I like an OFA, I like this. This is a cheap Chinese 30-degree carbon blade, and this is a sharpener. I re-edged that blade, and these blades last me a long time. And once you get a feel for this, you get the correct angle, you can come down through here, you can shave a window really nice, really quick. I shave in one direction, then I'll shave in the other. I really have no technical jargon to give you on why I do that. I just do it because I like the way it makes the film lay when I'm doing it. Some of these newer glasses have a rough edge. When they do, it'll give you just a little bit of chatter. Why I use a 30-degree over a regular blade? If you take a 30-degree, you can reach way back up in that corner. Just like that. Where if you were using a standard blade, it's hard to get it up in there, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Anyway, this one is locked down, it's heated, it's 60% dried on the top. We're only warm in this area, not down here. We'll put this window up. Now we're going to do the bottom. We'll take this tool out. I use that when I'm flushing, but when I'm installing 2-stage, I use this, and the reason being, it gets down below both lips on the seal. There's one lip, and then there's the other, and we're good to go. Now the reason I don't peel this off is when I'm doing a 2-stage, this is already tucked under there. I'm gonna roll this back just a little bit like this. I'm gonna tuck it under there so it holds it for me. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go right over here, I'm gonna roll this seal back. I'm gonna flush this down through here. Bring this down. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this back just like this. I'm not gonna peel the whole piece of film, I'm just gonna peel part of it. I'm gonna wet that, hang that there. I'm gonna bring this tool right over here. We're gonna park it in the corner, we're gonna rock it back, we're gonna ease the film right down in here where it goes. Just like that. Go ahead and pull all this off over to here. All right. Just tell me I'll be out there in a minute. Close the door. Anyway, you put signs on every door in your building and everything else, and folks still comes running through. Anyway, what I was showing you is with this tool, we rock this back just to ease this film. It goes right down in there, and you get the full long length of film just like you would if you were two-staging it, all the way down into the door on the seal, so you don't have to worry about, you know, premature peeling or whatever. Just pop that tool out. You're down in there. Now, we'll wipe our panel off right quick. I would have covered this panel up, but I'm doing these folks a favor. If you look at this truck, this is a 2020 Chevy truck, and it looks like this. Is that crazy or what? Now we're gonna lock this thing down, and we're gonna move absolutely every bit of the solution out. So this tool is your friend in the wintertime. Truly in the summertime, if you tint a vehicle and use this blade, use it correct with a correct slip solution, you can actually roll the windows down when the vehicle leaves. I'm gonna wipe this off with this rag. I'm gonna wipe this puddle of water off right here. It's on the outside. Now I hope this camera picks up these waves and this up and down through here where we hit it with this. Now this window's dry. This is the beauty of this blade. I can tell you there's a gentleman out there that's actually trying to duplicate this blade and make folks believe he's got what I got. It's all good and fun, but the thing is, if you buy it thinking it's a sledgehammer blade, as bad as I hate to say this, the joke's on you, because he's doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I've been doing this 35 years. I'm 53 years old, and the fact is, I want to help folks. I can't take this step to the grave with me. And my blades are 100% made in the USA. Every bit of it, Sledgehammer DeHydra, is cut, aged, and labeled in-house. Now you see, this is two-stage, and I roll the window down. It doesn't affect the seal on the bottom or anything already. That's the beauty of tucking it that far. I think our switch cut off. Tucking it that far down in there, we can already let it up and down. I'm gonna go over on the outside and show you how my technique keeps it from creasing it on the sides. And if this only helps just one of you guys, I've done my job. Rodney McClure, the Film Bender on Facebook. We have a group called the Film Benders Guild, and I do own and operate Gasket Pro tools. This is what I'm referring to. It's perfect down through there. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great day. GoPro, stop recording.